With all the resources we have, we can put a guy on the moon, but our water is horrible. The state of the cleanliness and the scarcity is scary. After all, we can't live without it. That's part of what we're embarking upon, and that's what OriginClear is doing in terms of both saving and sanitizing water, and on a much bigger scale. OriginClear has great bones. We looked into their plans, we looked into their current activity, their current fundamentals, in the sense that they have not only earning capacity, but they are earning, and that earning is growing. While there was a lot of hope and a lot of intention, there was also a lot of activity backing it up. We have that marriage of motivation and mechanics. We were looking for who are the other players. It can't be just all rigs. And it wasn't. They have some fabulous people. And these people are believers. And you know, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're an investor, you know that there better be a whole bunch of believers, because there's obstacles, there's challenges. And only with the, what we call FCB, only with the faith, confidence, and belief do you get to ride over all of those barriers or challenges. I must say something also about OriginClear, incredibly innovative. Riggs Eckelberry, the CEO, is not only innovative and very disciplined, but ethical. You know, it's one thing to be innovative and say, well, we can cut a corner here, we can cut a corner there. And no, when you have this marriage of integrity and innovation, now you got something, and that's why we've done the licensing.
We know that the state of water is not great. We know that more people die from water than war. Billions of people don't have access to safe water. Many illnesses come from bad water. Viruses, you know, we're so concerned about viruses. Well, water is a very important transmitter of viruses and bacteria. So what we want to do is to help take the general treatment of water in the world up, kick it up a big notch. By that I mean is, let's take India for example. This is an entire subcontinent that has virtually no water infrastructure. They have huge dam projects up in the Himalayas to deal with water movements up there, but in places like New Delhi and Calcutta, there's people down in the sewers digging this stuff out, and many of them dying from the sewer gases, and this is a terrible situation. Now, take a look at what happened with cell phones. When it came time to put Africa on the telecommunications grid, we bypassed the entire landline idea, just didn't do it. Didn't have to do that infrastructure, we went straight to cell phones. Cell phone towers, the phones are intelligent, you're done. A similar thing is happening in water. The decentralization of water treatment means that we no longer need to establish giant water treatment plants at the level of the city, because this treatment is happening at the point of use. We have a partner in Mexico who makes a business of carting away the sewage from different companies to a central plant. So there's no sewage pipes. Well, his idea is, why not put at each place a little water treatment system? Brilliant. Then he doesn't have to drive his trucks around, and he makes much more money. So these are concepts that are blossoming all over the world, and they're being enabled by the idea that do-it-yourself water treatment.
The water market, the way I saw it as an outsider, was kind of everybody bumping into each other, all trying to sell what they do to the handful of folks that had tons of financing on hand and were ready to pull the trigger. But that's not the market. 80% of water isn't treated. So let them fight over the 20%. That's cool. Let's work with the 80% that's untreated, because that's the real vital need there. So why aren't they treating water? There's a financial pain point. What if you remove the financial pain point? COVID took some of the smartest entrepreneurs in the country and physically forced them out of business. Now, these guys are not out of business because they don't know how to run a business. They don't know how to do service. The government said, you can't operate. Well, they didn't stop being smart. They maybe had to have closed their restaurant or their coffee shop or their laundromat, but they still have what it takes to run a successful business. So what we're going to do is we're going to provide them everything they need to service 11 million pools. Each pool has about 20,000 gallons. These things have been just getting drained, dumped away. Now here in beautiful western Pennsylvania, it rains every 14 minutes. So maybe it's okay here. But in Arizona, in the Sun Belt, in Southern California, not a good idea. And in places like Florida, you drain your pool, it floats away. The financial need for this is the reason they do it, but the pleasant consequence is it has a tremendous environmental impact.
The environmental fact of saving and reducing or recycling all that water, it's a huge impact for the environment, especially here in the desert where there's always a constant drought.
100 of these pool preservers will be able to prevent the dumping of, or in fact save, 100 million liters a month. Look at it like this. 100 pool preservers will be able to save 1 billion liters of water a year.
Progressive Water Treatment, as we know, PWT, down in McKinney, Texas, right outside of Dallas. I love that group. They are those hard-working guys that just get in there and do the work. The machines they're making and the quality of the work they produce at that facility is phenomenal. It gets all the way down to the simplicity of the welding they do on a machine. They do butt welding, for example, on the valves. The precision of the quality of that detail work, that little thing that might be about this big, is so exceptionally good. It just is the earmark of how detail-oriented they are on something that simplistic. But now you then expand that across the size of their machines, whether they're making a reverse osmosis machine with 20 filters on it, or they're doing a pumping system or a booster skid platform. And these machines range all the way from the size of a Volkswagen car up to the size of a tractor trailer. And they're impressive machines. And they have handled it like champions all the time. They do everything in a way that just is like so easy to them. They're just like, I'm gonna do that today. And then a couple weeks later, there's this beautiful, incredible machine that you'll see on our site all the time, which is just like, my God, that thing's insanely cool. And it's a really sophisticated piece of technology, actually, but they just make it look so simple.
My name is Mark Stevens, and I'm the president here at Progressive Water Treatment. My dad started in water treatment back in the 70s, started his own business in the early 80s, and he invited me to come work with him, and I've been in it ever since. What I learned from him was to treat employees the right way, treat suppliers and customers the right way, and you will have a successful business. That's probably how we have now 20 years of existence behind us. The world has more contaminated water now than we've ever had before. Luckily, we have equipment that can deal with and clean up and purify water almost unlimited. Really, whatever contaminant there might be in water, we have a piece of equipment that can clean up and deal with that water. Between OriginClear, Modular Water, and Progressive Water, we have a technology that can deal with the majority of the contaminants that enters into our water system. The modular water system designed by Dan, utilizing plastic pipe and plastic panel material, is revolutionary. Everything we've seen in the past was always based around concrete and steel. Two materials that have a short life, and versus the plastic, it's 3 to 4 times as long with plastic. The installation is faster, the cost is lower, and the life cycle is longer. So when Dan invented this stuff around reinforced plastic pipe, it was just the most advanced anybody's in this business has seen.
What we've done is we've taken this industrial, municipal scale technology and we've scaled it down so that the everyday man with a low flow can use the same technology to provide the same level of treatment that they would need that you would get at a much larger facility.
And whenever we get to talk to customers or engineers, they're usually just completely amazed at the price and the speed at which they can get these things in the ground and working over the dinosaurs of concrete and steel. When OriginClear came aboard, they exposed us to a lot of wastewater type of applications and customers we would never have come across on our own, and using our equipment to help support reclamation projects. Other kinds of products they have can be used in front of some of our equipment to enhance the performance of that. Just exposure to more of what the U.S. has to offer as far as people who need our products and who also sell and work in the same field.
We are completing the final factory testing and commissioning of the wastewater treatment plant. It's scheduled to ship out for our first customer with Modular Water Systems. This is customer number 1. This is a unique customer. It's a regional craft brewer located in New England. This particular system is rated for 1,000 gallons per day, but that capability allows us to also scale from 1,000 gallons per day to 2,500 gallons per day to 5,000 gallons per day to 25,000 gallons per day. So it is a scalable design.
We've been doing business with Dan, working with him on projects for probably 10 years or better. He comes up with a design and we help him in the manufacturing process.
This control panel right now is being tested by our sister company located in Dallas, Texas. Through an internet connection, they're actually accessing the control panel, working collaboratively with me and Plastic Fabricating to test the controls, that everything is operating and functioning correctly. Really cool that we can do this located here in Roanoke, Virginia with our partner in Dallas, Texas. And this same functionality, remote operations, remote monitoring, this is a service that we extend to our customer. We are at Advanced Auto Parts in Roanoke, Virginia. I'm actually sourcing some replacement fuses. These are standardized fuses. There's nothing special about them. I mean, that's one of the premises behind an engineered solution, is keep it simple, keep it commoditized, keep it affordable. Once you template the manufacturing model in one region, it then becomes very, very easy to take that standardized process and then to transplant that. You could have a manufacturing facility in the Mid-Atlantic. You can build one in Mid-Texas. You can build one in the Pacific Northwest. They would all use the same manufacturing models, the same engineering programs. The vision that we have at Modular Water Systems is that we want to deploy an engineering and manufacturing model that utilizes this plastic manufacturing capability. It allows us to create very unique, robust treatment systems in a much smaller, compact form. We can factory assemble these things, package them, put them on a truck, put them on a boat, deliver them to the final site and install them. You can't do that with concrete. With OriginClear, they have a tremendous capability to reach out to the greater world, to broadcast this message into channels and into markets that we never would have been able to do before. And that, to me, is very, very exciting. I can reach people and reach end users and consultants and customers that I never would have been able to do before. That is really the power of OriginClear. The existing model that has dominated the marketplace for decentralized technologies is all custom. It's all one-off, it's all snowflake, everyone's different. When I first got into the industry 25 years ago, if you were to buy a decentralized packaged wastewater treatment facility for a single-family home or for a commercial development or for a multifamily residential development, it would be this hodgepodge of parts and pieces, and it was up to the consulting engineer working for the client to piece this puzzle together. And so the thing that I am doing, the vision I've got, is to standardize these products. Standardize the permitting, standardize the engineering, standardize the manufacturing. And what that does, it makes it super easy for those consulting engineers and specifying engineers that work with us on a daily basis. It makes it super easy for them to specify our technologies. And that is a very unique differentiator for us compared to the other competing companies that are in the marketplace. Even the early stage developers of new technologies, new decentralized technologies 20 and 25 years ago, they were still very there's this custom element, this custom design and custom manufacturing element that went with it. It's clunky, it's inefficient, it's expensive, it takes a much longer time period to implement those technologies. By approaching a very standardized solution, by leveraging these emerging technologies, all of that really speeds up the way you can build and implement and commission and operate these things. So the analogy of a custom car manufacturer versus a very standardized assembly line car manufacturing model, that is a true, that analogy does apply. It does. The vision that we have and the model and the business model that we're pursuing, it's different. It is different from what you see of the mainstream conventional existing equipment suppliers and technology providers and the people that we compete with on a day-to-day basis. They're very entrenched, very conventional business models, not really conducive to innovation and evolution. We're radically different in that we are really focused on innovation. The consulting world, the engineering world that I work with and engage with on a weekly basis, when they learn about what we are doing, the technology solutions that we're developing, they're like, wow, I haven't seen anything like this in 20 or 25 years. This is really exciting. Glad to see that people are out there trying to change things and trying to shift the paradigm. I can use a paradigm shift. That's a word I commonly hear. I think the next 2 or 3 years, we will see just profound changes in the company. Where the company is today, it will not look like this 12 and 18 months and 24 months from now. It will be a radically different model. Top line revenue is going to increase. Productization continues to grow. The focus that we have on those things are really going to change the way the company functions and the way it's perceived in the marketplace, especially as we are getting more market exposure. We will become a household name. That's the best way of describing it. It will be a brand. We'll be a recognizable brand in the water industry.
Environmentally, we need to clean up our water, and the United States should be #1 in it and having as pristine as we can.
Doing something that is positive in taking care of a situation in Flint, Michigan, and in Los Angeles and numerous other places that have had water problems.
We started giving to a church that dug wells for people who had no drinking water. So when I saw how OriginClear is cleaning water, it seems like the perfect match.
I mean, a lot of people have water in the refrigerators and that make ice. Well, that's got to be clean, or else we are going to continue with the health problems that we keep running into.
It is time to do something about it. It's time to really be effective. And I'd like to be a part of that solution by investing in OriginClear.
I am also a CPA for the last 40 years, very much in tune with changing economics. And one thing right now is with low interest rates and that, what we need to do is get regular cash flow coming back, because it's getting very hard to put money at risk for time.
My lovely wife Linda here is so tight. She's not going to jump into anything. She looks it over very carefully.
I was a little skeptical at first. I had to see everything, really look at the numbers, but we really believe in what you guys are doing.
And I was excited about it when they showed it to me, is the fact that you get a regular return of principal and interest on an ongoing basis, plus a participation in value growth, an ongoing revenue stream.
I've been amazed at what you guys have done in the past, and I'm really, really excited about what the future is going to bring, because OriginClear is probably one of the most innovative and interesting companies that I have ever been involved with. And I think the sky's the limit for the future.
It's been consistent, it's been very lucrative, and it's been very fulfilling, because we actually feel like we're doing something for the economy.
Allows you the flexibility to start redirecting things and adjusting if there is a new lifestyle or something that needs to be addressed.
And it's a way to make money, and in this time of uncertainty with the market's going up and going down and everything else, and you guys have been steady for the last 2 years with regular payments, and so I'm betting on the future. I think it's going to be great.